In stark contrast to the approach taken by Delhi High Court Judge Justice S. Muralidhar yesterday on Wednesday, 26 February, today on Thursday, the Chief Justice of the Delhi High Court, D.N. Patel, has taken an entirely different approach to the case requesting FIRs against people who have indulged in provocative speeches and hate speech, which was potentially behind the Delhi riots and violence, including BJP leaders Parvesh Verma, Anurag Thakur and Kapil Mishra. Now, unlike Justice Muralidhar, who had directed the police to make a conscious decision by today itself on whether or not they were going to be, whether they wanted to file FIRs against these leaders and anyone else who'd made provocative speeches, the Chief Justice of the Delhi High Court, before whom the matter was listed today, he said that he was giving the government, the Union of India, 4 weeks to reply to this petition, which has asked for an FIR to be registered. And he has also set the next date of hearing for 13th April, which is now 6 weeks away from now. Now, this is obviously a interesting development, given that yesterday during the hearings, Justice Muralidhar had sort of asked some tough questions from the Delhi Police and the Solicitor General of India, Tushar Mehta. He'd been asking about why it is that FIRs had not been registered when there were clearly speeches which disclosed what looked like cognizable offences. Now, under the law, under the CRPC and the Supreme Court's judgment in the Lalita Kumari case, the moment the police receive information disclosing a cognizable offence, they are supposed to register an FIR. And that was what was pointed out by the lawyer for the petitioner in this case. Mandar is the activist who filed this petition in the Delhi High Court. His lawyer, Colin Gonsalves, specifically brought attention to that case and to what it said, and that was the basis on which Justice Muralidhar and Justice Talwant Singh, who were hearing the matter on an urgent basis yesterday, were looking at it. Now, however, this case had originally been listed before the Chief Justice, and so it reverted back to him today, especially, and of course there's in between the issue that Justice Muralidhar has also been transferred out of the Delhi High Court, but the approach is of an extremely different nature, especially since today the police submitted a statement in court where they said that they were not planning to register any FIRs against these BJP leaders or anyone else at this point of time, and that they felt that there was no need to take any action in undue haste, and they were worried that doing so would lead to aggravation of the violence which is ongoing in Delhi. And they said the atmosphere currently is not conducive, the situation is not conducive, and therefore they don't want to take any action which could aggravate it. Now, this is of course quite a controversial thing to say, that you will not file FIRs till the situation actually gets okay, but the judge has acceded to the request by Solicitor General Tushar Mehta to come up with a more detailed reply on why he has taken this stance and what the Union of India believes should be done here. Now, this now, as we said, the next hearing is on 13th of April. In the meanwhile, the Delhi police obviously have the ability to register FIRs against anyone who they believe has committed any acts of provocative speech or hate speech. But whether or not that will be done till such time as the High Court hears the matter again is unclear. The court was urged to at least order the registration of FIRs today by Gonsalves, and he said that a question of arrests could be dealt with later, but the court was not inclined to do this at this moment. It has not said that this is not a matter of urgency, and yet the way in which this matter has been dealt with by posting it only for hearing 6 weeks from now indicates that the court is not viewing it as a question of urgency. They're not viewing the Delhi riots as being something which has been instigated by provocative speeches or hate speech in any sort of urgency. They will maybe consider these issues later as the case goes along, but they're not taking it up with any question of emergency or urgency.